Welcome to Books Without Borders. Today we're going to be reviewing The Power of Habit by the author Charles Duhigg. Let's start with an example. Let me paint you a picture. It's finally the end of an extremely stressful day in the office. The boss has been on to you about getting your sales figures up, your co-workers keep you at the water fountain to discuss office politics, and you have to answer a million emails. You want to go straight home and sit on the couch, order a takeaway, curl up and watch something on Netflix, and positively zone out. However, you know that you should be staying clear of takeaways as you've already had 4 this week, and you should really be hitting the gym. What do? It's no secret that changing a habit is no easy task. In this best-selling book, author Duhigg explains the science behind habits, good or bad. After getting a sense of why a person exhibits the behaviour that they do, he goes into detail about how to change habits. There are diagrams and images throughout the book that illustrate why humans do the things the way they do. Duhigg calls this the habit loop, where people have a cue, routine, and a reward. Neither one is possible without the other, which is why habits are so difficult to break. The habit loop consists of identifying the routine, experimenting with the reward, and isolating the cue. Following your identification of all three, Duhigg explains how to create a strategy that makes it possible to eventually change your habit. Duhigg's golden rule of habit change states, you can't extinguish a bad habit, you can only change it. It won't happen overnight, but with time and practice, you can do it. You will have to be kind to yourself when you want to overcome a bad habit like resorting to the couch after work and ordering that greasy takeaway. Among the things that distinguish The Power of Habit from other self-help books is the amount of research and science Duhigg uses to support his method of improving behaviour. While discussing the importance of small wins, he cites a paper from 1984 by a Cornell professor who says, small wins are a steady application of a small advantage. Once a small win has been accomplished, forces are set in motion that favour another small win. Using this research, Duhigg teaches more about the significance of small wins being a way to fuel transformative changes. Everything is explained thoroughly and is easy to follow. He shows that if they work hard, they can reach their end goals. Using Starbucks and Target as examples, Duhigg shows how to apply his habits change principles in business. A few years ago, Starbucks was praised for being one of the best customer service businesses, but all of a sudden they changed for the worse. University of Albany researchers discovered when people feel in control at work, they will do a better job. As a result, Starbucks is now training its employees differently. They've improved their service after implementing the new habits. The research conducted in this area could help other businesses succeed as well. The book was inspired by the story of a US Army major in Kufa in Iraq, who nipped riots in the bud when he convinced the mayor of a small town to keep food vendors out of large gatherings. When people weren't able to feed their anger and energy with kebabs, they fled. 8 years and a lot of research later, Duhigg published the go-to book about habits. Here are your 3 must takeaways, and I'm not talking about food. Number 1. Habits work in 3-step loops: cue, routine, and reward. Number 2. You can change your habits by substituting just one part of the loop, the routine. And finally, number 3. Willpower is the most important habit, and you can strengthen it over time with 3 things. Duhigg has managed to combine the scientific research with his own ideas and personal experiences in such a way that the book tells many extremely compelling stories while teaching you everything you need to know about habits. According to the author, we all have the power to change our habits through adjusting the routine to something more productive in order to achieve the desired reward. The author makes it sound so simple, but really it takes conscious effort, practice, patience, and persistence. There's some scary information in here regarding how much department stores, groceries stores, and Starbucks knows about us. Our massive habits make us easy to manipulate. I thought this particular point was really eye-opening. There is no magic wand that you can wave around at your ingrained habits. In an effortless gesture of evolution once you have read The Power of Habit. This book is more like reading a thesis that summarises all the work research has accomplished over the past half-century to unlock the secrets of how the brain processes habits. Throughout the first 9 chapters, references are made to habits and even peer pressure, but little action is taken. In order to give yourself a leg up on your quest to give up smoking, lose weight, or start exercising, for example, the first 9 chapters will feel more like a psychology or neuroscience lecture than a how-to manual. Having said that, they are nonetheless captivating. Absolutely fascinating. Throughout the book, you will be so engrossed in the revelations about how your basal ganglia are taking over your routine tasks, how data from your shopping activities is mined for predictive analysis, and the elements of the habit loop operate that you will almost forget that you picked up this title with an intention to change. You're in good hands as you finish the book, since both the afterword and appendix offer some suggestions for using the new vocabulary you have acquired by reading the first 9 chapters. My one criticism of this book is it becomes repetitive at times, and it feels like the author didn't trust the reader to make some conclusions on their own, or even to remember what was said, written a few minutes or pages ago. However, what I'm wondering is possibly the author wanted his target audience to be able to pick up the book a second or third time and just refer to the occasional chapter and not read the whole thing again, hence the repetition. I'm not sure, but that would make sense. A great book written by a smart author, it opens up your mind to the power of habit. It's such a simple thing, yet has a profound effect on your life. As we grow older, we tend to forget that habits are the basic building blocks of your life. Habits were ingrained in you as you were growing up by family, by society, by teachers, or by self-learning. But as you approach adulthood, you tend to forget that habits were defining who you are. This book reinforces that point with scientific inquiries and real-life examples with interesting stories behind it. I was surprised by how much this book has made me consciously think of the habits I have in my daily life. It definitely has some excellent points when making new goals. I'm glad I finally finished it. I don't think it's the type of book that I would read the whole thing again, but maybe one where I would refer to certain chapters now and again, but definitely one I would recommend to others. You should pick up The Power of Habit if you haven't already. The information Duhigg provides you will help you change your habits, since we all have habits we wish to change. In the same way that Starbucks wished to improve its business, other professionals would also like to work in new ways to be more productive. Or simply, you just want to get off that couch and do some exercise. This book is made for you as well. I'll leave you with one of my favourite quotes from Duhigg. The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do. If you've liked this video, please check out our channel, where you can find a number of reviews across a number of different titles. Thank you for watching.